You're listening to the AFTERBUZZ TV network, now the largest new media platform on the web, and your #1 source for after-show entertainment.
Very good, Keith. Johnson.
From the AFTERBUZZ Studios in Los Angeles, California, presented by Maria Menounos and Bing.com, and streaming live thanks to Akamai Technologies, this is AFTERBUZZ TV's The Bachelor After Show. We'll break down tonight's episode and get you all the latest news and gossip. And now, another post-game wrap-up show for your favorite TV show. It's AFTERBUZZ TV's The Bachelor After Show.
All right, AFTERBUZZ TV Nation, hello from AFTERBUZZ TV Studios. We all know that Bing is for doing, and what are we doing? We're doing another after show on AFTERBUZZ TV. It is The Bachelor Season 17, Episode 9. I'm JC, and joining me as always are our, brunette bandits?
Yeah.
There we go, brunette bandits, starting with the lovely lady to my left.
That's me, Krisily.
Krisily Kennedy.
Hi.
Oh,
It's been a long day, folks.
Let's give her just desserts. She's that girl from that one show who does a lot of hosting all around the world. And hopefully you caught the Oscars, because we'll get into that a little bit later. She's everywhere.
Bastard.
She is Krisily Kennedy. Mm-hmm. Yes, and not to be outdone, of course, news never looks so pretty with Cupcake Cathy Kelley.
Hi,
It's
everyone.
Cathy Cupcake Kelly.
Yeah, Cathy Cupcake Kelly.
Okay.
But hi to everyone in chat roll, and shout out to Divya.
Nice. Yes, you saw that. Yes.
Hi.
Thank you very much, Cathy Kelley Cupcake.
Cathy Kelley.
I'm just saying that on purpose.
So
just to drive Krisily
I made
mad.
rose cupcakes.
How apropos, since this is The Bachelor.
She's fancy.
Wow. And of course, the man, the myth, the legend, that's right, Mr. Martin Valles. What's up, Martin?
How's it going, everyone?
We're kind of sad. Actually, it was a hard episode tonight to
You
watch.
guys knew it was going to happen. Stop it.
Totally.
Been calling it for about a month, honestly, and we'll get into that. But tonight's episode, we have Lindsay saying I love you. We have Ashley saying I love you a lot. And Catherine's just not sure just yet.
There's a Woody Allen movie called Everyone Says I Love You. And I feel like that's going to be Sean by the end of the season.
You think Chris Harrison will say I love you to Sean?
They've got a
Probably.
bromance. I can see it.
I see
Yeah.
it. He did it with Ari too, so I mean, you know. All right, so if you guys are watching us live and chat roll, what's up, guys? But if you're not watching us live, make sure to check us out on iTunes,
Subscribe.
Stitcher, subscribe. You name it. It's hot in the studios tonight.
It's wicked hot in here. I tell them all the time to turn the air on, and they just don't listen. Martin hates me.
No, he doesn't. We love you, Krisily. Okay, enough said. General thoughts of tonight's episode, starting with not Martin, Cathy.
Predictable.
What?
Yes. Good, but predictable.
Yeah?
Yes.
Totally.
I hate to say this, but I'm sorry. Yes, I agree with both of you. It was a snooze. I felt it was, compared to last week's episode, I'm sorry, I loved last week's. It was just, This was just, you saw the writing on the wall,
Yeah.
with Ashley, unfortunately, so.
It was slow. I felt like they dragged out a couple things.
There are actually a lot of fans that I saw on Twitter who were really like mourning the exit of Ashley. Like they really didn't expect, they thought that she was going to be the final one.
Really?
Yes. And I think I heard somewhere Sean say that.
Did they watch a different show than us?
No, but I did hear Sean say in an interview that he fell in love with 2 girls on the show. So we're kind of skeptical as to who those 2 girls are. We don't know yet. We're assuming it's the final girl. And then who's the other one? Don't know.
So that builds up all the hype for next week, which is going to be amazing. I mean, 2 weeks, so.
Yes.
Let's get into tonight and start off with the beautiful land of Thailand. And how gorgeous was that? Did you have anything like that on your stay on the Bachelor world, Krisily?
I had Aruba.
Aruba.
I don't know that Aruba compares to Thailand in that way, but Aruba was pretty freaking amazing.
Yeah, what about you? What'd you think of Thailand, Cathy? Were you feeling it?
I'm jealous.
Really?
I want to go to all these places. It seems so cool.
There were monkeys.
You're going to all, like, free trip around the world. You get to fall in love. You get to go on these crazy dates.
You get to fall in love.
Now you get to fall in love. So let's start off with Lindsay. the super cute, adorable Lindsay that we all love. Yes, Krisily, you adore Lindsay.
Oh my God, I'm having the best day ever, and I think at the end of it, I'm gonna tell Sean I love him.
She was saying this throughout the whole episode.
She's
we were
very
watching it.
lollipop.
So lollipop.
I do like that she's enthusiastic and she's a good sport about everything, and that is very rare to find in a girl.
Yeah, no. Okay, now here's the thing. I saw a little more depth on this date from Lindsay. You know, honestly, she's always very sugary, but this time she really wanted to get down with her feelings and actually eat bugs for him.
So gross.
Would you have done that?
I would do anything for love, but I wouldn't do that.
Okay, quoting Meatloaf. I love it. Oh, Lord.
That's why I like her so much.
No, but you were going crazy for all the pink, purple,
I wanted
blue,
a pink
green
chicken.
chickens.
It was the best thing I've ever seen. I want a pink chicken. I also want a monkey, and I want an elephant. I mean, I want a lot of things in life. I'm kind of a brat. But I wouldn't eat a bug for anyone.
Not even for Sean, though.
No. Like, he's my friend, and I wouldn't eat a bug for him, nor would I eat a bug for the woman I love or the man I love.
Okay. All right. So she's got morals. She stands her ground, as she always does, Krisily.
I accidentally swallowed a fly once.
I don't know if that counts.
It was traumatizing.
All right. Well, let's get into this, you two. What did you guys think of the date between Sean and Lindsay? Is there something there? More than the physical stuff.
I said this week after week. I think that they have a chemistry, but it's very short-lived chemistry. I feel like in the real world, as I've said before, they would last 2 to 3 months. And it would be very hot and heavy for a while, and then it would fizzle out because they would realize that they need more substance. I'm not saying that they don't have substance, but I'm saying that it lacks what you really need for a good foundation to a marriage.
Yet, even though Sean did mention that they were grounded in spirituality as well, yet we didn't see any. He said that in a quote towards the end of the date with Lindsay, and I thought that was odd because we never saw that.
He also said that he saw his future wife and all 3 of them at some point tonight. So I love him to death.
Is that a line or is that?
Yeah, it's like I love him to death, but tonight I was just like, really, Sean? Come on. But like, get with the program, because you're sending one home. So get with the that kind of annoyed me tonight.
But he has to say that, doesn't he?
He does. I mean, he doesn't have to. There's not a gun to his head, but yeah, it makes better TV.
Well, I mean, what else is he going to tell them?
Well,
How would you skirt that? You know, how would you deliver that? Like,
I can see my wife here.
yeah,
Either
I
one
don't
of
think that
you.
I would tell.
and telling Lindsay that
Yeah.
instead of telling him directly, I see myself with you.
Yeah, I mean, he talked engagement and being engaged and house hunting with Lindsay, but I don't see it with them. I don't know why. I just don't see it. I find when they're not that giddy, kissy annoyingness that we've seen in the past, which we didn't see as much tonight, I see awkward. And there were some really awkward moments with them tonight, especially once they got to the fantasy suite.
Yeah. I don't see that as I mean, I guess that it is a line, but you could technically get away with saying, I could see a future with you without it being lying because, you know, I could have seen a future with many of my past boyfriends. It didn't work out, and it was probably a bad future with a lot of them, but I still saw a future with them. It's like you can envision your life with that person, and he's envisioning his life with these 3 girls. It's just better with one of them.
And I mean, let's be honest, just because he said in interviews in between the dates about each girl that he sees his wife doesn't mean he actually said that about that girl.
Yeah.
So let's just be honest and real there for a minute.
We've seen some good editing in past seasons, so don't think that it didn't happen this season.
So what would you rate the date on a scale of 1 to 5?
I give it 2 stars.
Ooh!
I'm going to say 3, solid 3. I think they had a lot of fun, which is what's important on a date. Yeah.
Here's one thing. I'm going to quote this to one of our former our relationship experts, Jenna Couture. Body language. Once again, when they were kissing, it was Lindsay leaning in.
Always.
Sean was neutral. And we're going to get into other dates where I see something quite differently.
Their kisses are kind of awkward, too.
I wrote it down. So awkward.
You did.
I totally did. And I also wrote that she's childish.
She is a little bit childish, but I think that, I don't know.
And he said that at some point. He said something about her being not mature enough, or I don't remember the exact wording he used. I thought I wrote it down, but I didn't.
Okay.
Sorry. But he said something to the extent of her not being mature enough for him. And he said that he's past that now, but I don't know that I believe that.
It is weird that her parents said she's ready to be married, and I feel like she is kind of young. I mean, who was it who was bashing Tiara for being 24? Lindsay's 24.
Right.
I'm 24. We're not ready to get married yet. Like, that is too young. I get that it's okay. I mean, some people do get married that young and they make it work, but I don't see Lindsay as being ready to be married yet. I feel like she's definitely ready for commitment. I don't think she's ready for that step yet.
Okay, now we're here, we're recapping, we're rehashing, we're analyzing, and it seems like we're kind of saying Lindsay and Sean, we don't see it, but give me 3 reasons why they should be together then.
She's fun.
She had a bug for him.
You're not helping me here.
I mean, I'm just being honest. I don't.
If he likes making out, she's great.
Because, okay, there we go. Well, it is physical. I mean, literally, that's what it starts out with. Honestly,
Yeah.
you figure out the rest along the way. Oh my gosh, you guys are terrible tonight. What's going on in the studio tonight? Martin, help me.
Why? We're not being terrible. We're just being honest.
Yeah.
All right. Well, then let's move on to, yes.
It looks like our fans agree too. Lions fan on the chat roll said that he gave it a 3.5 stars out of 5 for the date, and he thought that Sean and Lindsay's kisses are awkward. So it seems like people agree with us.
Awkward.
If you don't agree with us, then talk to us on Twitter. We'll talk to you more about that.
Let us know on YouTube, Twitter, and
Yeah.
whatnot for sure. But let's move on to maybe someone else. Well, before we do, make sure to click on iTunes, subscribe, let us know what you think, let us know you care, and send us some questions for sure. So I think we have a lot to talk about this girl coming up. Ashley.
Oh my God, thank you.
No, Ashley.
Stop it.
No, Ashley.
I love it.
Oh my God.
That's all she said. Come on. That's all she said.
It's true. The writing was on the wall. I'm saying from the beginning, I love this. This is my true, Sean is probably my true love. That's her first quote.
Yeah.
Well, they did find the light at the end of the tunnel together.
Okay, I've been saying this for weeks. She has control. We all know she has some sort of control issues, whatnot. She has these walls, and it was going to be too much for Sean to overcome. And even going into this cave, it had to be this big ordeal. Like, can you have fun at least once?
It just proved that she wasn't right for him in that moment.
Yeah, I have to stick up for her in the way of that they showed that she was nervous, because on my fantasy suite date, we went snuba diving.
Snuba diving?
Snuba. And it took them 2.5 hours to get me in the water. Like, I kid you not, I'm no bullshit. It took them 2.5 hours to get me in the water with the mask underneath. I was scared to death. But they didn't show that. They didn't show that moment. And because I think they've showed that moment with her so many times now, we as viewers are looking at it like, come on, really? Just get over it. But being in that position and having something that you would never do in normal real life and being that scared and then having them now put it on national television, it's different.
Yeah.
But I will stick up, because 2.5 hours it took them to coax me in.
I wonder how long it might have taken her.
Yeah.
You know, I'm trying to call these dates this week in dating psychoanalysis, because basically I had to overcome and swim into the dark cave and see the light. And then Lindsay had to eat bugs, and she hated bugs. And
It
all
does
these-
make you feel closer, though.
Yeah.
It really does.
Okay.
Because you're claustrophobic and it's a tight, confined area.
What, did you want to be claustrophobic with Sean?
Maybe. No, I feel like Ashley has overcome so much in this season, but I don't think she hasn't crossed that line yet where she's actually ready. Again, it's the same thing. She's not ready for another serious relationship because she still is guarded. There still are some issues that she hasn't resolved yet, as we clearly saw later in the episode. So I think she's on that path, and honestly, I think that sending her home was one of the best things that could have happened to her, because this experience has changed her so much and opened her up so much, and she is going to, especially, I want to see her at the Women Tell All, because I feel like she is going to just be glowing and be like, thankful that this all happened, not upset at Sean anymore.
I'll give you that, yeah, because this was shot in November, so there's been 3 months to kind of
Yeah, and
decompress.
I feel like I said that similar a couple weeks ago, because I know I've missed a few shows with you guys. But I said the same thing, and I wrote that down as well. That she's going to get so much more out of this than any of the other girls that are there. She's going to learn so much more about who she is, what she is as a woman, what she wants, what she expects. And she's going to come out kind of more on top than she would have if Sean did pick her. And that's no disrespect to Sean. When Ashley finds the right person and the right relationship, she'll be able to let go of all that. And that's what she wasn't able to do with Sean, is let go of some of that stuff. And because of that, it just meant it wasn't the right relationship for her, you know? But once she's able to fully let go and just be with that person, and then it's not so much about the overcoming as it is the compromise.
Could it have also been the cameras that were in the way as well?
I think that I just think it wasn't the right person for her, you know. And I think that it's a control thing, but at the end of the day, when you love someone, you let go of a lot of things for that person. And some of them she was willing to, but she's just going to grow so much more as a woman after this. And I feel that way because that's what my experience was. And I'm not as guarded as she is. I'm not as closed as she is. And there's very different situations. But at the end of the day, I feel like that part of her is relatable with me, that she's going to come out of this and know she has higher expectations. She has higher things for relationships. It's just going to change who she is as a woman a lot.
I'm really looking forward to the Women Tell All now, not only because of Tiara, but also to see what's happening in Ashley's world now.
Tiara's eyebrow has a Twitter account.
Yes,
and
I
has
mentioned
more
that a couple
followers
weeks.
than all of us together.
Yep.
Gee, thanks, Krisily.
It's a problem. Come on, listeners, follow us on Twitter.
It's naturally that way.
If you're watching us, Cathy, give him the eyebrow. Martin, can you get that eyebrow?
can't even
I can't do it.
She's got it.
I can't do it.
Okay, we were taking a moment. We're comparing eyebrows right now. It's jump the shark time right now. No, okay, so, I mean, we're just flying through these days. Anything else stick out with Ashley? I mean, we've pretty much kind of hit everything on the head with her. Especially, okay, body language once again. When they were kissing, Sean was the one, you know, he was leaning back. Ashley was the one moving in. So could the same have been said for our next date, Catherine?
Not really.
No?
They just seem like they have a really good chemistry. The one thing that I did notice throughout this date, though, is when they were on the boat, it looked kind of unnatural. Catherine was like kind of laying in his arms, but I expected her to be looking at him, and the entire conversation she was looking away.
Yeah, she didn't
It
give him
seemed
a lot of
very
eye
weird
contact.
to me. And I know we've said that in the past, like a couple weeks ago when she was telling the story about her father, she looked away. And I mean, I understand in that moment you look away because you don't want to see, or you don't want to let that person see you cry or see you hurt because you know that you'll break down if you look at them. But in this situation, it didn't really make sense to me. It almost looked like she was looking at a producer who was, you know, off camera.
You conspiracy theorist, you.
I don't know. It looked very off-putting to me.
Are you talking about when she was resting her head on his shoulder?
At the beginning.
And there were a couple times where she did look up. She looked over her shoulder and she was looking right at him. And maybe she was doing that for a while and her neck just hurt, so she had to face the other way. But
I kind of disagree, actually, because they were on the boat and she's just taking in the moment. I am here possibly with the man that I could spend the rest of my life with, and I'm just soaking in this moment, staring into the sky.
I'd want to look at him.
I'm sure. But with that said, you brought up a good point, and it's those little gestures. Like Sean was sneaking, he sneaks kisses in. He was kissing her forehead while she was
Yeah.
talking. Those
That's how
little
you know
things.
they love each other, is if they have the forehead kisses.
You said that a few weeks
Yeah.
ago. Okay, all right.
That's the ultimate test. Ladies, if you like a guy, he gives you forehead kisses, that means he's either a really good player or he loves you. Probably the latter.
Wow.
He's either a really good player.
No, it's
or
probably the
he
latter,
loves you.
though. That's a very intimate thing, kissing someone on the forehead, I think.
True.
Yeah.
No, and she also brought up the fact that he accepts her weirdness. I'm still waiting to see all this weirdness that she talks about.
I mean, she's weird. She's quirky. She's
We
not
saw
your
that in the
average-
bloopers.
Yeah,
That was
she's
it.
Not,
3.141195.
I feel like she is. She's kind of like a little geek, and that's what he loves about her, though. You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
She's not your typical Bachelor girl, for sure. You know what I mean? She's not like the rest of the girls that are standing out
She
there.
would make a great Bachelorette. How
Yes.
hilarious would her season be? That'd be so good.
That'd be really good.
Be a lot of guys from like The Big Bang Theory, and it's just like.
No, she likes them
Love
beefy.
that show.
So
She likes the beef.
she likes the beef.
He
Okay.
does like the beef.
She likes the
I
beef.
love that one moment in their date where she's like, I want you to know that I am serious, even though I am silly and I say that I like things like I like your beef and your hunkiness. I really like the substance that we have in this relationship.
Yeah.
That was cute.
She's got a lot of cute with her, and of course she submarines her sisters back. Because if you remember last week, her sisters kind of like threw her under the bus.
Oh, yeah.
And she basically told Sean, well, I don't really go to my sisters for my relationship advice. I go to my best friends who are married. So kind of diffusing that, trying to help Sean along. Because last week she was in jeopardy. It was between her and Desiree being sent home. So maybe, do you think that could have been some campaigning perhaps? Just
I
like,
don't
hey,
know.
Sean, know that I'm really here for you.
I actually thought it was weird that she felt like she had to say that. I feel like she should be comfortable in what she has with him thus far.
Okay. Anything to add to that, Krisily?
I think he's had her picked for a while. So I don't think that she really was in jeopardy of going home last week. I think that it was just the way he called out the roses.
Call out the roses. Okay.
I mean, personally, I feel like he's had her picked for a while.
They always say that the rose ceremony, you've got your top two, and I feel like he has had her picked. It reminds me a lot of Roberto and Ali's season.
I was just going to say,
but
I
it's
feel
just-
like Ali said that
Yeah,
within the
she did
first
say
night
that.
she knew.
Yeah. But I
Who
feel
her
like
final two were.
with every season, with Ashley and JP, it seemed like from, a couple episodes in, it was like, it's definitely a JP, it's definitely JP. They're so silly together, they're cute together. And then a little bit, like 4 or 5 episodes from the end, they're like, oh no, maybe it's not JP. They have some, weird thing where it struggles. And then by, the last 2 episodes, you're like, why were they trying to fool us?
Now, Chris and Cathy, I was reading this article on Radar Online, and it talked about that the final 2 tend to be kind of slightly misled on who the Bachelor or Bachelorette is going to pick.
Yeah.
What do you mean?
Like, let's say last season for Ari and Jeff Holm.
Yeah.
Well, it seems like they were telling Ari that he was the one that was. They weren't telling him specifically.
Who was telling him?
The producers. It's on Radar Online.
They
this
do
article.
that. I think I've heard that from other people too. Is they kind of make it seem without telling them like, oh, they pick you. They make it seem like, so what are you gonna like? They get really excited. Like, what are you gonna do like for your wedding?
And they did this specifically also, Ari and Jeff, and they made it seem like Jeff wasn't going to get picked, so that when he did get picked, it caused a greater shock, greater reaction.
That's why Ari got so pissed off when he left, because he's like, I thought I was going to win.
I'm asking this also specifically since you were final 2. Did anything like that possibly happen?
I don't even know how to answer that question.
Let's take a break. I'm just kidding.
Can we have a commercial? No.
Sorry to put you on the hot seat.
I don't believe that. I don't believe that anyone was ever told that they weren't going to get picked. I don't believe that anyone was told they may not get picked in a way that they would aggressively make you feel like it wasn't you. Because they want both of those men to feel like they're the ones that are going to be it. So do I know that producers said to me, oh my God, when you guys are together, it's so great. You guys have such great chemistry. I see that. Like, yes, absolutely 100%. Did they make me feel like I had the most secure relationship? But they never said anything about the other relationships. It was just basically what happens is you have your producer kind of from the beginning to the end, and they become your best friend. And so all of those interviews that go back and forth, it's like you're talking to your friend. So they'll say to you, like I heard Lindsay say tonight, she never really thought about not saying I love you, and now she realizes that she might have to, or she could get sent home. Well, I guarantee you that the conversation went down that she was in an interview with a producer, and they said, you haven't told him you love him yet. Do you think that will be what sends you home? And then all of a sudden in her head, she's like, oh shit,
They can plant
I better.
things.
and it's not in a manipulative, vindictive way that the producers do that, but they want you to think and they want you to put
They
yourself
do that
out
in
there.
every reality show.
Right. And so I don't feel like a producer would ever say to somebody, "Oh, you're not going to get picked. He has a better relationship with Sarah."
You can ask
they don't say it
questions.
like that.
You can ask questions like, well, what would you do? Like, it's the tone of voice, too. And I feel like producers, not just in Bachelor, but in other reality shows, I know a ton of people who, like, are in the industry, a lot of my friends who are producers on reality shows, and they know the strategic questions to ask you to elicit the answers that they want. So if they want an answer of you crying, they're like, oh, so what are you going to do if you get sent home? I mean, that would be really bad. And making it seem like they are going to get sent home. Or if it's like the opposite, it's like, so like you're going to plan your wedding right when you guys are done. Oh, shoot, I shouldn't have said that. But like, you know, and they be your friend or they're,
Right.
it's the way that they word it. They're very good at that.
It's just like how we are gripped. You know, we're on the edge of our seats watching it. Imagine being in it. Present company excluded. I mean,
Yeah,
like,
I mean, it's and that producer is your friend, and I mean, I still talk to a lot of the producers on the show, and they are your friend, and they do want you to be in love, and up until the point that you're sent home, every question that you're asked is about being in love, and what are you going to do next, and what will it be like to take him home, and all of those things, because they want that reaction, and the viewers want that reaction as well. If they had done an interview with Ashley before Ashley got sent home and said to Ashley, "You might go home tonight," what would you say to Sean? We wouldn't want to see that until she got sent home.
Yeah.
So it's all about, you know what I mean? That I don't think that it's ever done in a disrespectful way. I think it's done because as viewers, we want to see these girls fall in love and we want to see Sean pick the best girl. So we have to know those conversations.
It's also the way that they phrase it, because I know from reality TV you have to elicit an answer that's not yes or no. So they tell you either to repeat the question or repeat it in your own words. So if they're saying something like, you know, is Sean the, you know, romantic prince in your life? They're going to be like, Sean is the romantic prince in my life. And that's what makes them sound kind of corny on a lot of these questions. A lot of the girls don't come up with those answers. Those are the way that it's phrased.
Right.
they're just regurgitating kind of with their answers. So, you know, and we kind of veered off. We didn't finish up with Catherine's date. So anything did you guys get out of the night part of the date where Sean's saying basically, you know, she makes me happy.
They're perfect.
She gets me like no one else has. I mean, just those little, they sneak those little things in. Whether or not he picks her, I don't know yet, but I mean, they're great together.
We also didn't mention in Ashley's, did we do this? Where she was like not wanting to accept the overnight.
Right.
How many times has that happened? I mean, Jeff Holm, like last season, but there weren't really any overnights. It's very rare to have a girl say like, no, I don't really want the overnight. And people, I heard a couple people on Twitter saying that's why she was sent home. I don't think that's why she was sent home, but...
No, especially seeing that Sean doesn't have sex.
Right.
I mean, let's be honest.
Yeah.
And I also hate, and I don't understand why none of the girls will be quite honest and say that if you think that this is what we're going to do, it's not. I know that Charlie and I had that conversation after I was given the card, and I said to him, there's 3 other girls here, and I am not going to go into a fantasy suite with you and do anything more than talk if I'm not going to be the girl standing at the end. So we can go talk, and that's great. You know what I mean? And I think we as viewers look at the fantasy suite and say, oh my God, they're having sex. It is the first time that these 3 girls will have any time alone off camera with this man. The only time. You don't get off camera time with this man the entire process. This is it. So if you say no to this, you're an idiot. Because you can say no to sex very easily. But if you say no to that time, come on.
Yeah.
Martin likes that.
Yes, he does. Martin, we hear you chuckling there.
Just say no, Martin.
You know, and here's another neat thing about Catherine that the other girls have not said. She came in with no expectations at all. She wasn't really looking for love. So wait, so why did she come on in the first place?
It's an experience.
Yeah.
I mean, would you say no to it? Honestly.
Me and
Because
Sean?
I get a lot of slack on Facebook and Twitter for this stuff all the time, and doing the show and 15 minutes of fame and blah, 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 blah. The fact of the matter is this is an experience. And you put yourself out there and you take a chance because you might think it might be fun, and you're gonna go through these things that you'll never be able to experience in life. Why say no to that?
It kind of seems like season after season, the winner is always the one who's like, yeah, like I didn't come on this expecting to find love, but I did. Mm-hmm. And it just happens.
Well, and Lindsay didn't really say didn't say why she came on the show. Mm-hmm. Did she? I don't know if anyone's caught that throughout the arc of this.
She just keeps talking about how she didn't tell Sean she loved him, and now she did. That's all I remember. And Ashley, oh my God, thank you.
You are terrible.
Stop it.
Krisily, you are behaved tonight.
I love it.
Oh my God. All right, so anything else? So let's get to the elimination.
Yes.
I know we've talked about it throughout the episode, but actually the fact.
Dun, dun, dun.
So mad at him for not taking Ashley outside. The only person he's done that for is Sarah.
I mean.
This is hard.
Yeah.
And now the next girl, he's gonna leave like when they think he's gonna propose to them. He's gonna leave them in a gorgeous location, and they're gonna.
We move on.
Yes.
We move on from that moment.
Sad.
I promise.
It happens every season.
It does.
Someone has to go home. He went home. And the interesting part was that he was third on Emily's season as well. So it was just so heavy for him.
I don't think Ashley's gonna be the next Bachelorette, though.
Did she handle it correctly?
No.
No?
No, but Martin and I both agreed that Mad Ashley was way hotter than regular Ashley.
She was hot tonight.
Very
She
sexy.
looked pretty sexy
She
when
was.
she was mad.
Yeah, I will agree.
Mm-hmm.
But she just walked out. Do you think maybe that's the real Ashley on the way out? The one that we've seen so far this season, I love him so much, it's true love. And now, she was under the full belief that she was gonna end up with Sean.
So you think she's really just the bitter Wicked Witch of the West?
I'm just saying maybe now we see a whole other side that we didn't get to see throughout the season.
That's angry. That's a woman scorn.
I think that's her not fully overcoming the things that she had to overcome before the end of the show. I think that's all it was. I think she wasn't ready to be on a show like this.
She was angry and bitter, and she felt like she was lied to.
And Sean said when she left, he was like, I really did see you at the end.
Yes, he did.
That was really weird to me. Because I could tell for at least 2 or 3 weeks now that he hasn't had any sparks for her. He hasn't been looking at her the same. Mm-hmm. And you can tell.
Yeah.
Now, when he broke up with her, when he was sending her home, did you notice he was practically shaking like a little boy? Mm-hmm. His head was down. He
had to know it wasn't going to go over well.
I could just see him just cower.
That's a bad breakup.
That's a microcosm of what the relationship possibly could be. I think between the two of them.
She might have boiled a rabbit.
Yes.
Said
that last week.
She was a little basic instinct sometimes.
Yep. Little Glenn Closey.
And she has that look in her eye. And tonight she had that look in her eye. He had to know it wasn't going to go over well.
Cathy, were you just giving that eye right now? The boil the bunny eye?
Don't boil the bunny.
She didn't even say goodbye to the girls.
No.
Right.
That's crazy.
Sarah W. did not say goodbye to Sarah or I when she left either. She was an angry girl. And she still has the best farewell limo ride to date of any Bachelor season ever. I wish that they would find it and put it because it was the best exit limo ride ever.
Who's this again?
Sarah W. My season.
Really?
I wish we could find it. If I can, I'll send it to you.
We'll try to bring it up for next week because actually fans have brought up in the past weeks. They would like to know what some footage of your season.
I have my season. I own it.
Oh.
I said that I wanted the DVDs and you have it? You've been holding out on me?
Listen,
You jerk!
No.
I'm breaking up the Brunette Bandits.
No,
Ding.
I went to Charlie, I think it was last year, and was like, dude, I need it. I was like, I don't know why I need it, but I need it. And he was like, I'll make you copies.
I want to
so
watch
he
it.
totally made me copies. I think I might be missing one episode, but it's not. It's at the beginning. And I have not watched it since.
I wants to watch it.
So in the next week or two, we got to have a little montage of Krisily moments,
We
possibly.
have it. Oh, it's brutal.
Okay.
The accent.
Fans have actually asked me for that. I swear to you.
You're lying.
I swear to you.
People don't care.
The week I was
they
gone.
tell me that I'm a has-been and I don't need to be talking about it anymore.
Look, I'm gonna back it up even with the story. You know, when I was sick a few weeks ago and you guys were here handling, you were holding down the fort. Fans were telling me, why doesn't Krisily bring some of her footage? We'd love to see it. I swear to you.
Shut it. I have it.
Okay, so there we go. we grant dreams here on the AfterBuzz
We
as well.
do.
Yes.
You can see me with a bad accent and bad blonde hair.
Really?
Oh, yeah.
Blonde?
Oh, blonde.
A worse accent than you have now?
Blonde bandit.
Oh, it's like Rhode Island. It's like thick ass Rhode Island accent. Bad.
Okay, okay, the fans are excited now. So.
Oh, yeah.
All right, so any final thoughts on tonight's episode? Anything that we might have
Just
missed?
pick a girl already.
Yeah.
I'm ready.
Or
I
pick,
am ready
2
for
weeks.
Happily Ever After.
Or pick Chris Harrison. That's all I'm saying. All right, so that draws a close to tonight's episode analysis. Let's give them some news and gossip because Cathy's got tons of it.
There's tons this week.
AfterBuzz TV News.
Okay, so this is something that you can hate me for because I have forgotten to tell this piece of news and gossip for like 2 weeks now.
Hate you.
Back on February 26th, I know that was a long time ago, Michael Stagliano from Bachelorette and Bachelor Pad 2 and 3 got engaged.
He put a ring on it.
To the girl that everyone says he dumped Rachel Truart for, Emily. She is from Chicago, and she met him when he was touring, when he was playing a show in Chicago. They met before Bachelor Pad 3, even though he had his fling with Rachel. And then he broke up with Rachel, and he immediately started dating Emily within days. I think they started talking once he got back home, and now they are engaged.
Yep.
Aw,
So
congratulations.
he did find love.
He did.
Congratulations.
Michael, come sing us a song.
Anything else? What do you got?
Lots more. The Women Tell All, which we know airs next Monday, March 4th, actually taped this past Friday, February 22nd, in LA.
Oh, wow.
So watch out for that. There are a lot of people who said that they went. We did not go, unfortunately.
Weird.
But probably because we would have given away spoilers.
No.
The next piece of news and gossip is Leslie going to be the next Bachelorette?
Who?
Ooh.
Probably not.
Oh.
In a recent interview with the Washington Post, she said, "I never want to see a rose again in my life."
Really?
And she still insists
feel
that
the
she has
same
no
way.
regrets, but she just doesn't see it, which I thought she would make an amazing Bachelorette because she's funny and she's cute.
So Bachelor Pad, perhaps?
Probably not. She said she's very happy with her job. She works, what was it? Legal
She's a
analyst
lobbyist.
or lobbyist.
She works for
yeah.
a lobbyist in D.C.
Although she did go to school for broadcast journalism, so maybe she wants to get into the hosting career path too, like many of these girls. Des also did a conference call with reporters this week. She said being on The Bachelor was very emotionally draining, or a very emotionally draining experience to go through. And I mean, if I were offered the opportunity to be the next Bachelorette, I would definitely have to think about it and give it more thought and make sure I'm prepared to get back onto that emotional roller coaster. But I do believe in the experience, and I know that the feelings are real. I do believe it can work out for the best, so I'd probably say yes to the opportunity. Does that mean that Des is the next Bachelorette?
According to Martin, that's a yes.
Reporters also asked Des if she thought Sean was a playboy, like her brother said he was, and she said, "You date like 25 women at one time, so I don't consider that a playboy," which I think is a little bit contradictory. But she said, "I think that is just the circumstances. I still think he's far away from being a playboy as anyone could be."
Totally agree.
So, 2 more pieces of news and gossip. Actually, 3, sorry. There have been rumors, and we actually had a fan question about this. Are Ari Leindeck Jr. and Selma dating? Well, In Touch is actually reporting that they are, although he was just linked to Courtney Robertson, and it seems like, as Krisily would say, once you are seen together in public once, everyone assumes that you're dating.
So me, Michelle Money, and Tenley are probably dating, now, right? Because we were together Sunday.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, you are. Okay, last 2 pieces of news. We reported last week that there was a rumor that Sean Lowe will be a contestant on Dancing with the Stars on the upcoming season, and we still don't have confirmation, but they are going to announce not only the stars, but also the stars' partners tomorrow on Good Morning America. So we'll get confirmation if he is. I think he is.
TMZ's reported it and whatnot. And
That Sean's on Dancing with the Stars?
Yeah.
Yes. So he'll be in LA
Could be
a lot.
interesting.
Yeah.
You know, and people are bringing up the fact that, well, what does that mean to the relationship with
Is it
whoever he
unfair?
picks?
Yeah. We'll see.
They'll just have to come live in LA instead
I said
of in Dallas.
I'll be front row every single week if his fiance is not. So, I'm just kidding.
Kathy.
I'd be surprised. Dancing with the Stars hasn't had a Bachelor contestant since Melissa Rycroft.
Well, she was on last season too, because
Let's see, we've had Trista, Jake,
And then Melissa.
and Melissa.
Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah.
They haven't wanted to work with anyone else, so
Yeah.
it'd be shocking, but I'd be really excited to see Sean do it.
And the last piece of news and gossip is very gossipy. There's this app which I was actually unaware of until maybe Friday of last week, and it's called Tinder. A lot of people are saying that it's like a hot or not app, but basically you match up it's very shallow. You match up with people based on whether you think they're hot or not. And the only way to tell if you're matched is if both people say yes. It's completely anonymous is what it says, but you can see people's pictures from Facebook and their first name. And the reason why my friend told me about this is because a couple of the guys from Emily's season are actually on the app. And two of those guys are Kaylin and Nate. So basically it also matches you up with people in a certain distance. So you can say like 10 miles, 15 miles. Both Kaylin and Nate live in the LA area now. And so I went on and I tried to find them, and I did. And I said yes so that I could try to message them. But yeah, I don't see us being matched. Sorry.
Okay.
But I just thought that was an interesting piece of news and gossip.
It's like pizza delivery, but Bachelor men. Okay, interesting.
So awkward.
Yeah, it is kind of awkward. Feel embarrassed now.
No, not,
No.
not at all. What's the name of that site again? Let me write it down. I'm jumping on that right after we're done with this show. All right, so
Selma's not on there. Sorry.
hey, I have not mentioned her name. She will remain nameless.
I'll mention it for you.
Thank you very much, Kathy. Okay, so let's move on, I guess, to what predictions? Do we have any predictions? I guess it's 2 weeks till the show.
Now, your AfterBuzz
Catherine
TV
Kelley?
predictions.
Hey.
How you doing? All right. So, well, next week, do we really need to give our predictions for 2 weeks from now, or should we talk about?
I want to predict at the Women Tell All.
Okay, we'll save it for. Well, what can we predict for the Women Tell All?
I predict that Chris Harrison will be nice to everyone except Tiara.
Really?
Yes.
And Chris Harrison tends to be nice to everyone.
I also predict that they will not announce the next Bachelorette. I predict that they will do that on somewhere in the
Dancing with the
season of
Stars.
Dancing with the Stars.
Towards the finale of Dancing with the Stars.
Sometimes they do it on the Women Tell All, though, or the Men Tell All. So, could happen.
I think they're still debating. I mean, I
They
think
won't know for a while.
we won't know till I'd say after the final two, whoever he picks,
Yeah.
because I guarantee whoever doesn't get picked is going to be a strong contender for
Yeah.
Bachelorette. So
I could see Catherine as Bachelorette. I don't think I could see Lindsay, though.
why? Because I love all these men. Oh my
Oh, no, I
God.
Not serious enough. Maybe in like 3 years when she matures a little bit.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. What do you expect here, Krisily? Anything on the Women Tell All? Defend your girl. Well, she's not your girl, but Tiara. Should Tiara show up?
I wish our Twitter account would, because it's freaking hysterical. I mean, you know, I never had to do a woman tell all, so I mean, I expect there'll be drama and BS because girls are catty. But I mean, they're always then partying afterwards, just like that's how I met Sean. You know what I mean? I met Sean after the Men Tell All filming, and they were all drama and hating each other, and then they were all at a bar drinking together.
Don't they all take shots during the thing while they're filming? Because it is 8 to 10 hours long for the
It's a
Women
long
Tell All.
day.
And for the Bachelor thing, they were taking shots. What was it? Bachelor Pad
we went to the finale.
Yeah, and they were taking shots backstage. The producers had tequila, they had vodka, they had pretty much anything you wanted.
So it
Oh,
gets-
yeah.
it gets everyone
The more you
loosey-goosey.
drink, the more you say.
No, the reason I ask about Tiara is because I heard that she wasn't going to show up, or I don't know if she's. I think she's going to be there. But are you by contract? Do you have to go to the Women Tell All? I would think you would.
There have been people that have missed out on it for whatever reason, and I think that I don't know. I think it must be.
Well, they don't bring everyone back. They don't bring every
Right.
single girl back. They bring the people that are most memorable, and I believe that it is you're contractually obligated to go.
Okay. All right. So, with that said, I think that wraps it up for tonight. So, Martin, where can they find you besides the booth?
At the every other day man. You're the everyday man. I'm the every other day.
That was good.
Do not encourage him.
That was good. I love
funny.
Martin.
Krisily finally smiling. Where can we find you?
You can find me on Twitter at Krisily.
And Cathy.
You can find me on Twitter at Catherine Kelley.
And you can find me, as Martin said, at the Everyday Man. And you can find all of us at AfterBuzz TV. For Martin, Krisily, Cathy, I'm JC. We are the Bachelor After Show. We will see you next time. Good night, everybody.
Bing.com, executive producers Maria Menounos, Kevin Undergaro, Phil Svitek, and the entire AfterBuzz TV staff. We would like to thank you for listening to the AfterBuzz TV network. To watch or listen to other after shows and post comments or questions, be sure to visit AfterBuzzTV.com. I'm Sir Richard Wentworth, and this has been a presentation of AfterBuzz TV.
Buzz you later.
The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of AfterBuzz TV or its owners or principals.